Alright, so good evening everyone, and we're back on M101 tonight for another test. So tonight I have taken some calibration frames, so flat frames and dark flats with the Flat Wizard, and I've set up the equipment again on M101 as I said, and tonight I'm not going to use any region of interest. I am going to use the full resolution of the ASI2600MC camera. And once again, I've got the UV IR cut filter installed in the filter drawer. So after a lot of problems setting up the gear tonight, I don't know what was going on with the dome, but I hadn't a clue where it was, and I went to do a polar alignment check on the telescope, and when it went to the third test point or sample point in the 3-star polar alignment routine within Nina, the dome disappeared off to about 40 degrees off of where it should be, and I've no idea what it was playing at this evening. So it took a little bit of to and froing to get that all syncing back up to the telescope again, but nevertheless we persevered and got it done. And I kicked off a sequence on M101, so there you can see the full frame coming in off the camera. The first test I did on the video I released today on the setup of the UFC system was using a 50% region of interest and no calibration frames on the live stack. So tonight, as I say, I've got the full resolution. I've also reduced the gain down to 75, but I'm still doing a full 2-minute exposures. And the sequence is running, so what we can do now is we can kick off a live stack with the calibration frames this time. So let me just move my remote desktop out of the window and go and do up the script, easy processing, easy live stack. Start a new live stack. We will choose M101, today, light, 4 frames already captured, and we will select image as color, and we want to generate master flat, and it says select the master bias or dark flat you want to calibrate the flats with. So we need to pick the dark Flat Wizard, dark flat, and then we will select the single flat and let it do its thing. And so now it's generating its master flat. We'll leave it to do its thing. I'll be back in a second. Okay, so it's finished generating its master flat and it's applied it to the live stack. And we can now start watching the folder. Now there should be 5 or 6 frames already ready to be processed. So it'll start processing them into the stack. Alright, so that's 9 files. It's picked up in the folder now and stacked them all in and processed them with the calibration frames. So there is another 5, just over almost 5.5 hours of this sequence still to run this evening. So we'll just leave it to do its thing and see how it comes out later on. So we'll catch you later. Having left the live stack to run through the evening until the sequence finished, in the morning I exported this live stack from the Easy Live Stack, and I can see straight away that there was some issues in the stars, so there's a lot of stretch in the stars, more than I would have expected compared to the subs that were coming in at the start of the evening. And I did notice on the guiding it had gone for a bit of a wander, and having a look at some of the frames I could see a cloud had started to roll in shortly after the meridian flip, and things had started to go a little bit skew-if. So after having exported the live stack, I went into Blink, loaded all the frames up and worked my way through all the frames, removing all the ones that appeared to be bad, and just watched it to see how it was progressing through the evening. We can certainly see as the moon went down, the sky darkness increased, and yeah, it looks a lot better with all those bad frames removed. So if we hop over to the Fits viewer, we can see, you can see here's one, for example, where the clouds have thickened up quite a bit, and we can see a satellite trail coming through, and also you can see the stars are a little bit elongated and stretched. So dumped all those bad frames and then used weighted batch processing to go and stack all the good frames that I've kept, and this was what came out of the weighted batch processor, and certainly things were looking a lot better. So then I just went through sort of normal processing, doing all the DBE and colour calibration, blur exterminator, noise exterminator, etc. And at the end of all that, this is what I was left with. I was quite pleased with how that's come out. I've still got some issues with some weird diffraction spikes, and I suspect this is down to the cable management on the front of the RASA being a bit of a mess at the moment. So that's certainly something I'll need to sort out. And the light pollution from the moon earlier in the evening didn't help too much either. So I'll probably do another run with the lower duration of exposures, and maybe push the gain back up slightly again. So we'll keep plodding away. So anyway, I took this image and did some further tweaks to it with curves, etc. And this is basically what I've ended up with. So this is the full frame of the ASI2600MC camera, and there was still a little bit of vignetting, particularly in this bottom right hand corner, so you can also see it up in the top right slightly. So I've just cropped it down to the usable frame, catching these perimeter galaxies, and yeah, this was the 5K crop, so quite pleased with that. And apart from obviously this weird diffraction spikes, and then I also took a further 4K crop, just more in on the center of the image, and then finally I took a 2K crop right down in on the galaxy itself. So yeah, for a second test on the UFC setup, that's come out not too bad. So I'll just keep plodding away, sort the cable management out, and we'll see how it goes. Alright, so that's where we are as it stands. So thank you very much for watching, and don't forget to drop your comments below. If you like the video, give me a thumbs up, and yeah, we'll catch you in the next one.